Good morning, it's Thursday morning, and we are here to focus on the future the way we do every Thursday. And we've been following the future of the early church in the book of Acts as Luke has been telling the story of the early church. And last week we saw Luke's first picture. Every once in a while, Luke will pause in the book of Acts and give us a picture of what the church looked like as it grew. Well, the first picture we saw was of a church of 2,000 people, because after Peter preached at Pentecost, 2,000 people came to know Jesus. And then we read that they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, the breaking of bread, fellowship, and prayer, and that they were all together, they were unified, and there was not a needy person among them. So that was the first picture. Now fast forward to chapter 4. We read at the beginning of that chapter that there are now 5,000 people in this church. It is growing by leaps and bounds. And you know, sometimes when churches grow numerically, they decline spiritually. But that was not the case with the early church, because the second picture that Luke gives us of the early church is almost identical to the first one. They had a common characteristic. There was not a needy person among them, because they had lost themselves in service to one another. They were operating out of the power of the grace of God. Any church with a future will reflect the same character of Christ and the same lesson that he taught his disciples when he washed their feet before going to the cross, leaving them an example that they should be servants of one another. And that's what this church had learned. Now there is one secret tucked in the middle of the passage that I gave you for this morning in chapter 4. There's one secret to this amazing church. 2 words: great grace. Luke tells us that great grace was upon them all. They were ministering out of the abundance of the grace of God. Their growth had very little to do with their gifts or their backgrounds. Maybe their growth, in many ways, was in spite of their backgrounds. But it had everything to do with the grace of God. Because the nature of grace is the pure gift of God. It is unmixed with human effort. It is unspoiled by human failure. And the grace of God was flowing through Peter and John and the others, and through those who came to know Jesus and who filled the church and followed the example of Jesus in ministering to their community and to their church family as well. The pure grace of God, unmixed with human effort, unspoiled by human failures. It was simply God working through them. The very best kind of ministry. Great grace is God working through you. So go out today and minister out of the abundance of the grace of God. God bless your Thursday. By the way, I'll be on vacation beginning tomorrow, Friday through next Friday. Pastor Bill will be bringing the word on Sunday, and he'll have some special music with him, Steve O'Brien. So I hope you'll join us. I'll be watching online, and you have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday.